all my designers. So,
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna block off the lower levels.
Okay.
So, but I'll take you around now and see more stuff.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
all our fishing and operations is done above the deck, but the factory engine stuff's all down below.
Okay. Hi. Oh, there's a big wrenches.
So these cables, oh god, it looks all nice. The cables go out and connect to the doors. That's how we manage the net. That's what called the gate drops down. And then we pull all the fish up here,
Okay.
and then we dump them into the tank just by the gate. And then it goes down into the factory.
Factory.
And these all have nets, and we've got a bunch of the winches down below. They have nets, and they string them together in these configurations that cause the fish to do this, that, or the other thing.
Okay. Oh, there are the nets. Okay. This would explain one more time, please.
This is the engineer control room.
Oh, I see.
This is the engineer can operate all the critical systems
From here.
from here.
I see. Okay, so go to
And then here's the switchboard room.
this is where the electricity. What you talking
Comes
about?
out of our generators, and goes in here for distribution throughout the ship.
Oh. Gee, this is a big operation.
It's a big operation. Yeah. So in here, this is our rudder.
Rudder. Oh.
Got to steer the boat.
True.
So there's the rudder right there. It's on hydraulic rams. We have two independent hydraulic pumps here,
I see.
and that just turns the rudder and steers the boat. Very powerful hydraulic system.
I guess.
You want to ride with us, or do you want to fly?
Go.
They come out of the tanks.
Okay.
Okay, that's where the fish come in. And then we pull them out onto a conveyor.
Conveyor.
Comes here, and then it comes across here. And this is where the government observer stays.
Oh, I see.
And he watches the fish, he counts the fish. He's got a camera here, he's got a screen here.
I see.
It monitors the area over there, make sure all the fish is coming out, no one's screwing with the fish.
Oh, I see. They do that? They're always on board, the government
Two
officials?
on board. We're required to have two on board.
You pay
We have
them?
about 23 cameras. We have to record to DVR. We have to store the DVR for 6 months. And then we have to send the DVR into the government in case anybody wants to audit.
I see.
So no, nobody can screw with anything.
I
And that's
see.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's
Because
good,
no one
yeah.
else can screw with it. So anyway, so the fish comes back there and then comes across these, and these are the headers. So there's that guy on either side that aligns these, and it heads it, guts it, and sends the fish forward. So
Okay.
now be careful here.
Okay.
The fish that are our bycatch, the halibut, the crab,
I see.
they go up this conveyor down and out. And that goes out of the ship. So then the fish come forward here, and then they go into these sorting bins up here forward that sort them by the size and the species. And so let's go this way here, I guess.
Okay. There's a weight limit to sort out the fish by weight. Interesting. Okay.
So then, on the other side of this are the packing tables. And so the guys, they have a button they push, and it'll drop 10 kilos of fish into the pan.
I see.
And then another 10, then they sort the fish out, make it look nice. Then they push the pan back on a conveyor system that comes here
Okay.
to the plate freezer system.
Okay.
And so these are the plate freezers, and there's 6 of them, 3 rows of 2. And what these do is on one side, the fish pan will come down here, and then a level will open up. And then a hydraulic arm will push the fish pans in, and then it'll push the old fish pans out. And then it'll close that out, start a new freezing cycle, and the frozen fish will come down and then get pushed onto here.
Oh, that is
Actually, this one goes that way and then gets down to here. So then we have all 6 freezers working together,
Okay.
and the fish pans go down here.
So it's all working, right? You test it and
Well, some of it's working. It's still dialing it in.
I see.
We haven't run fish through it yet, obviously.
I see. Okay.
So then the pans come around here. They drop into there. Those plungers push out the fish because the pans have a hole in the bottom. And then the fish go into there, which is the bagger and the labeler.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So,
Hopefully it'll bring you a lot of money.
not hopefully, will. So, let me see. We got a chain.
Wow, it's cold in here. Okay. Oh, that's the door you just trying to open before.
Yeah, so that goes to the engine room.
Okay. Okay, so I want to put you in the picture so you know if people see, you know how big this thing is.
So this will be filled with, we'll stack it 3 high stack, and each stack is 1.1 meters high. Each stack has 55 bags.
Let's see.
Each weighs 1.1 metric ton.
How did you figure out all these numbers?
How did I figure it out?
Oh, I did
built
it.
it.
I see. So you get a view outside. You got a kitchen. So let's see what the kitchen looks like.
Kitchen.
They're just kind of scattered right now. Just everyone's showing up, and then
I see.
I mean, everyone should show up.
We're in running.
Who's your name?
Okay, 여기가 이제 운전대가 있는 데인데. 와, that's a big shipyard. Okay.
You're going to be varsity half of your husband, because the other half needs to be done. How you doing?
Stand. I gotta tell you, I'm so impressed with your goddamn book, my man. We were talking.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Thanks for some introduction, and it is a great day to be here. It's wonderful to be here. They said it couldn't be done. But I was here a couple weeks back and met a lot of the men and women who built this vessel. And one thing is very clear: building a ship like this is a lot easier than building legislation. You have a plan to work from. It's on paper. There are lines that go, put this one thing here, put that thing there. That isn't how you pass laws in this country. You got to get done what needed to get done to make this happen. I started working on this in May of 2017, and as Christian noted, over the last couple of years, passed legislation in the House a couple of times so this ship could get to work. Unfortunately, there's something called the Senate. There's an old joke that Al Swift used to say. Al some of you surely remember Al. He was a member of Congress from here. He'd always say in the House of Representatives, the enemy. He's a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. He said the enemy isn't the Republicans. The enemy is the Senate. And it's just trying to get things through the Senate got difficult. Thankfully, at the end of last year, the House and the Senate passed the Coast Guard reauthorization bill that included the fix to move this vessel forward and let it get to work. So, really,
know Mayor Gear. She's been a steadfast supporter of the shipyard and the efforts to save our ship. I had the opportunity to travel to Dutch Harbor with Mayor Gear to address the Unalaska City Council, and she eloquently and passionately made the case.
Well, February 2nd, 2019, what a fine day for AnaCortes. This is a celebration that is felt from Washington, D.C. to here on the Salish Sea and the North Pacific. It is a day to celebrate. We navigated together for this waiver to the Jones Act. This was a journey of lessons. We learned more than we ever thought possible about navigating federal legislative process. The past 2 years have had a dire consequences on our beloved Dakota Creek industry. It was always about our shipyard, family wage jobs for the region, and the next generation of fishing vessels that they build with zero waste, zero emissions, carbon neutral, and they set the standard.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of today. The City of Mount Vernon was so proud to join the Save Our Ship Coalition in 2017 and to stand alongside DCI, the City of AnaCortes, and our entire Skagit Valley. Those of us in local government, we tend to be quite, cut to the chase and super practical. We feel we're the most connected to the people of our communities. So when we were in DC sitting in an unnamed senator's office, no disrespect to Representative Larson, and we told our story, and they looked at us and they said, well, you're asking us to move a mountain. And your mayor, Lori Gear, looked at them and said, that's exactly what we expect you to do. And I went, yes. But I'm here to support our people in our valley because we're all very much interconnected. Our son Ian is really good friends with Ruben, and Ruben's dad is Hector Madrigal Torres, who works here at DCI. Right there. So we're here because of you. We want to support you.
Folks that preceded me can't really express how grateful we are for all the help. I'd also there's, like Mayor here said, I think there's probably too many people to thank to even remember. But I think we have both Duncan Smith and CJ Zane are here. They were our team in DC, so I'd like to thank them. Let the DCI employees know that they're here. Maybe say hi to them.
We're lucky enough to work for her and is a true visionary. It's not just me that feels this way. Our naval architect Inga Bertel-Strome is on record in the press giving her this title. Over 2 decades ago, she knew that our excellent pride of the fleet, the vessels we're currently operating, would need to be replaced, and that thought was never far from her mind. She has built a loyal, dedicated crew of more than 200 people, many of whom have been with her 10, 20, even 30 plus years. That says something for the industry we find ourselves in. I take great comfort in knowing she's the leader of our company, and I am proud to say that I work with her. Please make welcome Ms. Helena Park.
Thank you, Christian, for that very introduction, and thank you, Congressman Larson, our mayors, for being here and for your kind words. So this day is about all of you. Today, we are all pioneers. Today, my company, Fisherman's Finest, in partnership with Dakota Creek Industry, has resurrected America's fishing industry. It is a moment to take in. We built the first new modern fishing vessel of its kind in 31 years. Are you aware that the last largest catcher processor built was
built right here in AnaCortes by Dakota Cruise Industries. That ship, Starbound, is still the pride of the North Pacific Fleet. And boy, does the apple not fall far from the tree. This mighty, beautiful ship will provide our crew the opportunity to master 21st century processing and fishing technique on a safer platform for the next 40 years after I am and some of you folks here are gone. Just like the ship America's Finest is replacing, also appropriately named American Number One, has done for the last 40 years. And once the world watches America's Finest in action, boy, Dakota Creek will cement its name as the best shipbuilder in America. The name, don't cry, Joy. The name America's Finest isn't hyperbole. She's the manifestation of what America means to me. I grew up in impoverished post-war South Korea, eating government ration food, but some people had TV. So I also grew up in awe of American ingenuity. I watched Neil Armstrong take that giant leap, and my father wanted me to be part of that American ethos and sent me to America, a place where vision combined with hard work can achieve the unattainable. But the fleshy end goal, like Armstrong planting his footprint in the lunar dust, or this magnificent ship cutting through the treacherous ice of the Bering Sea, isn't what matters most. What is most important about this American ethos are the opportunities created by ambitious projects like these. Projects that allow hardworking, smart, driven people to build, create, and learn, all while providing for their families and pushing the society forward in the process. From this day forward, it is undisputed that Americans can build the best ships for American fishermen and women. Which is as it should be. We get to use a public resource, and the only just use of our success is ultimately to turn our catch into steel. That's the motto. Turn fish into steel by transforming the profits into building ships like this, into opportunities for American shipbuilders, American steel workers, and American fishermen and women. If that is not the America's finest tradition, our collective small step, I don't know what is. I'm grateful to our Lord for giving me and the Nelson family the strength and guidance to get through the toughest challenge in our careers. But I'm very, very appreciative of all of you here. Your support carried us to the end that is a new beginning in American fishing. Thank and recognize U.S. Bank. Where are you? they lent us the capital needed to build this ship. Other banks, lacking vision and courage, might have cut and run the second day it was clear that we needed a waiver. You stood by us for 20-month saga. You stood by us, this dream, by this community, and by this glorious ship. We would not have this day without you. Thank you so much. Finally, I'd like to express our gratitude, of course, to our elected leaders, especially Congressman Larson, who fought tirelessly to defend the dream born in this community he so faithfully served in D.C. Just a few words to wrap up is Mr. Dennis Moran, the president of my company, and quite honestly, he's the true visionary. behind America's Finest. I couldn't have done this without him. And now it's also his job to make that dream, to live up to the expectation we just set. So no pressure, Mr. Moran. Come on.
It's cold, so I will be quick. Ms. Park spoke of coming to America, the land of opportunity, and she's exactly right. And I'm just going to put it this way. Ms. Park came here because her father thought this land would give her opportunity. She came here, she built a fishing company that was strong enough to come to this shipyard and sign a contract to build this boat and give the ship workers that worked on this, some 700,000 hours of work, the opportunity to do that work. When we ran into trouble, we went to our elected representative, and I remember that day. We went to two guys, Congressman Larson and Congressman Young, and it was a dark time, let me tell you, for everybody. But about 5 minutes in, we realized Congressman Larson had our back through this and was going to get us somehow the opportunity to finish this boat, the opportunity to keep this shipyard going, and the opportunity for us to finally take this boat and go out and fish and show everybody what we can do and pay it back. Thank you, U.S. Bank. So now it's up to us. Guys, Fisherman's Finest people, we have the opportunity to use the best fishing tool created by man and woman, and it's our job to go do it, and that's what we're going to do. So we will all see you 6 months, and we're going to have a heck of a fishing history behind us. Let's get going, guys.
Okay, thank you all. Father Augustine Reisnauer is going to bless the ship at the bow of the ship, I believe. Bow. Would you rather do it here? Okay.
Good afternoon, friends. It's wonderful to be here today to give thanks to God for America's finest, the work of men and women, of the human mind and human heart and human hands. Brothers and sisters, listen to the words of the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus got into a boat, and his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a violent storm came upon the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by waves, but he was asleep. They came and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us. We are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you terrified, O you of little faith?" Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was great calm. The men were amazed and said, "What sort of man is this, whom even the winds and the sea obey?" God of boundless love, at the beginning of creation, your spirit hovered over the deep. You called forth every creature, and the seas teemed with life. Through your Son, Jesus Christ, you have given us a rich harvest of salvation. Bless this boat and its equipment and all who will use it. Protect them from the dangers of wind and rain and all the perils of the deep. May Christ, who calmed the storm and filled the nets of his disciples, bring us all to the harbor of light and peace. Grant this through Christ our Lord.
Thank you all. That concludes our ceremony. We have food and beverages and refreshments and tours. Look for crew in the green, or yellow and blue high-vis gear, and they can give you a tour of anything you'd like to see. And thank you all for attending.
Okay, he's on the house.
If anybody's allowed to do that, it's Miss Park.
Okay. Nice boat.
There must be, might be down this way.